the mysterious alien objects of King Solomon. King Solomon, as we know, was one of King David's sons of ancient Israel, and he was supposedly known for even having flying carpets. But one of the very strange things he had, very advanced technology, was the steps towards his throne. He had lions flanking each step towards his throne that he would pass by, and as he was stepping on each step, the heads of the lions would turn to follow him as he was going up the steps. Can you imagine such technology? Well, we shouldn't be flabbergasted by that. I mean, the ancients did have advanced technology. We even have the Antikythera device of ancient Greece. But what were these mysterious objects of King Solomon? Around the first millennium BC, Solomon, the third king of Israel, first it was Saul, then David, and then Solomon, was the most powerful man of his day. He's described in the Holy Bible and in legends as a character of incredible abilities and wisdom. In fact, according to the same traditions, inside the building that bears his name as the Temple of Solomon were also kept mysterious objects with strange properties that could be considered as products of a higher technology for his time, or even as of extraterrestrial origin. Solomon, son of David and Bathsheba, the wife of Uriah, the third king of Israel, ascended the throne of Israel in 972 BC. He reigned for 40 years. At one point, he built the famous temple in which the several sacred objects of worship of the Israelites were placed. The so-called tabernacle, according to the Old Testament information, was a very special portable sanctuary, essentially a tabernacle of the Israelites, with strong non-physical properties, built by command of God to Moses when he received all the detailed construction instructions. The tabernacle was considered the abode of God, but also the meeting place of God with the children of Israel. One of the mysterious features of the tabernacle was that every time Moses entered the tent, a cloud, like a curtain, covered the entrance. In this way, God revealed his presence in order to speak to Moses. Because, therefore, the interior of the tent testified to the appearance of God, it was named the Tent of Martyrdom, the tent of witness. That is, the tent of testimony, presence of God. When the pillar of cloud disappeared from the entrance of the tent, it meant that God's conversation with Moses was then over. It was finished. The Israelites constantly carried the tent to where they were going, but stopped doing so when they conquered the land of Canaan. David was the one who planned to build a permanent building, a temple, in order to replace the tent. However, the one who oversaw the building was his son, Solomon. With the same symbolism of the objects of the tent of testimony, martyrdom, the same basic ritual furniture and almost the same utensils and objects that were in it, a much larger building was built by Solomon, always maintaining the sacred proportions according to the original instructions. And in addition to the tent, some other mysterious objects were placed inside the Temple of Solomon. The Ark of the Covenant was the most sacred object for the Israelites, containing the 10 Commandments on 2 stone tablets, and also the budding rod of Aaron and a pot of manna. But only the outside was visible. It was built by Moses according to the specifications given to him by God. Initially, it was kept in the tent of tabernacle and indicated that God was among the people of Israel and communicated with them when needed. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. During its transport, the Ark of the Covenant was always covered with sealskin and a blue cloth, and the gaze was always hidden very carefully. People could not look at it, which should not have been accidental, since when 70 of the members of the tribe happened to look at it, they were automatically killed. It was said to be the punishment by God. Now, in the battles fought, the Ark of the Covenant preceded the people as a divine shield of protection. According to Jewish tradition, it burned thorny bushes and other obstacles that it encountered along the way, while sparks emanating from the two opposite cherubims on its lid could kill snakes, scorpions, and other dangerous animals. When they were to cross the Jordan River, as soon as the feet of the priests who carried it touched its waters, the water disappeared or evaporated and the river dried up. That as soon as they crossed, the waters returned, according to Joshua, son of Nun. When the Ark of the Covenant had to be carried in an ox carriage, and a driver reached out to keep the ark from falling on the rough road, he fell dead himself because he touched it. Now, when the Temple of Solomon was inaugurated, the Ark of the Covenant was placed there with great care and reverence, and as soon as the priests came out of the Holy of Holies, the temple was filled with a cloud, which they interpreted as indicating, quote, that the glory of the Lord had filled his house, end quote. It said that inside the Ark of the Covenant, in addition to the tablets with the Ten Commandments, was kept a pot of manna that was given as food to the people in the desert for the first time as a provision of God. And also, of course, the budding rod of Aaron. The magic bud, the rod of Aaron was also placed there, which turned into a menacing snake against Pharaoh, and again into a snake which infected the Nile and killed the fish, and finally, which bloomed when it was placed in the tent of testimony, martyrdom. Of course, inside the temple, there were many other sacred objects, such as the sacrificial altar, the seven light lamp that originally burned like a menorah, that in the sanctuaries of the tabernacle, and eventually became a symbol of Israel and Judaism, the menorah. There were also the copper sea, or the melted sea, which was a large copper water tank. There was still incense and much more. According to various traditions and legends, it said that King Solomon had flying carpets. A carpet, in fact, was supposed to be 60 miles long and 60 wide, capable of carrying 40,000 men. If we wanted to stay in this incredible version, then Solomon might also have kept the flying carpets that spewed rays of light and fire inside the temple he built. Now, the lightning rod of the Temple of Solomon, 24 in number, are said to have been placed in various parts of the roof of the temple, obviously not in random places, to protect it from the thunderbolts of heaven. In other words, they were lightning rods that would disperse light, so that the temple would not be harmed by lightning. So these lightning rods, because it was, as we know, up on the area of Jerusalem that's high up. Now, according to legend, King Solomon subdued and imprisoned 72 demons in a bronze vase as a gift to mankind. In fact, this story is supposed to have been the source of the inspiration for the book Solomon, the Key of King Solomon, although there is no reference to these spirits, while according to historians it was written about around the 14th and 16th century by an unknown author. After the conquest and destruction of Jerusalem by the Babylonians in 587 BC, all this was lost, disappeared, stolen, or hidden very well somewhere else. In fact, according to the Old Testament, we're talking about the Ark of the Covenant. In fact, according to the Old Testament, when Nebuchadnezzar captured 3 wise men from the Temple of Solomon to later threw them in the fire when they were not burned, but another figure appeared, the figure of a man, which was the pre-symbol of Jesus Christ. Now, modern affairs consider that a gate had been opened, a gate that opened in Iraq, and the war for this acquisition between the West and Saddam Hussein. Well, we don't know about that, but anyway, that's some legends now, conspiracy theories claim. Now, could any of the above contain truths? And to what extent? And if it were true, then modern terminology could not say that these objects were of extraterrestrial origin, since there was supposed to be no civilization that possessed such advanced technology. Of course, one can easily argue that they were of divine origin, or simply the imagination of those who narrated them, as well as those who wrote them. Well, I believe that they were obvious miracles by the hand of God. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Thank you.